Hello once again, everybody. I am Jay Victor, and welcome to another episode of Official Rules, a Sweepstakes podcast. Thank you for joining me today, September 23rd. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Lots of stuff to go over, but before we go over anything, as always, if you have any questions, comments, ideas, or thoughts on sweepstakes or any other topic, including recent or biggest wins, or any thoughts on the new stuff I'm going to go over, feel free to email me, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. Again, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. And speaking of which, have been getting, slowly but surely, a lot of nice emails from people that have been listening to the show. Thank you so much. As always, my newest friend, Rochelle, she wrote to me. She's obviously a sweeper, and she is a part of the Carolyn and Bill crew who have listened to the podcast. I thank all of you folks for getting the name of the podcast out there and for listening. I really appreciate you being a part of this journey of this wonderful hobby that we're all about. And speaking of which, Sweepstakes Podcast can now be found on YouTube. I was able to successfully migrate my RSS feed and open a YouTube channel, The Official Rules, a Sweepstakes Podcast YouTube channel that includes my link tree. If YouTube is not your listening platform of preference, it will link you to the Amazon links, the Audible links, the Apple Podcast links. But this will also allow me to do some unboxings, as I did over the weekend. And thankfully enough, if you had listened to the last podcast, my streak going all the way back to July 2022 was saved because on Saturday, the 21st, I was going through my daily sweepstakes, and lo and behold, good old Newport cigarettes, which I've been playing, seems like forever and a day, and never won. They usually have one casino game. They recently changed it over to 4. So I was going through them. I spun the roulette wheel, and then you usually hear the same buzzer at the end of every game, but I heard something different, and I said to myself, you know what? This is probably it. So finally a win from Newport, and just in time, with about 9 days to spare, and keeping the streak alive. So that was wonderful news. That did not make the video that I posted on Saturday, the first unboxing video for the YouTube page. However, I did post 2 packages that came in on Saturday morning. One was from the MasterChef Bluetooth? No. Strike that. Blue Moon. MasterChef and Blue Moon. I'll be honest, I'm looking at this little blinking Bluetooth light in the bottom corner of my desktop that just went off. So I had Bluetooth on the mind. MasterChef Blue Moon Sweepstakes. I received actually a really nice apron and a set of Blue Moon oven mitts. I was expecting that in the mail, so that was a small but obviously nice win. And as I put in my comments on the YouTube page, it's really the small wins that, I don't know about you, but keep me going and keep me motivated. And one that I was not expecting, a box of Kelsey Mix featuring the Kelsey brothers, Travis and Jason Kelsey. And it's a mix of, I don't have the box with me, but I believe it's Reese's Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms cereal. So I've not broken it open yet, but I look forward to doing so. So that was a nice win. So those 2 packages plus the Newport win made for an eventful Saturday. So that was good. And what was not good, staying on the subject of the Kelsey brothers, particularly Travis. You let me down, bro. How could you? So, as I mentioned before, I'm a fantasy football guy. Went into the weekend 2-0 with two separate teams and came out 2-1 on both separate teams. Travis, I'm going to hold on to you, buddy. I know you got it in you, but 3 weeks of football and only 6 fantasy points total. I guess we're all getting older and we lose the edge sometimes, but I'm not giving up on you yet. So onward and upward, we'll move on from this disaster of a fantasy football weekend, but staying on the topic of football. And I mentioned this on the last podcast. The TCL Sweepstakes, the weekly sweepstakes. As many of you know, TCL is an official TV partner of the NFL. Long story short, last year they give away over $1 million in televisions, particularly because there was one play that happened last year that resulted in like a 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. So these weekly entries are based on the premise that a certain event is going to happen, as I mentioned before. Well, last Thursday's game with the Jets and the Patriots. Aaron Rodgers on his new Jets team, rehab from a injury last year that happened 5 minutes into the first game. He's doing well. They beat the snot out of the Patriots. But for us in the sweepstakes world, what does that mean? Well, in TCL Sweepstakes, the Week 3 entry, the event was each team records 115 or more made field goal yards, cumulative yardage of all made field goals. Well, this was an easy one to know whether or not you made it happen because the Patriots only scored 3 points, which is one field goal. And one field goal, for those of you not in the know, it is impossible to kick a 115-yard field goal considering the total field is 100 yards. So us in the sweepstakes world, we had no chance to win that week's prize, which was $50,000 worth of 98-inch TVs from TCL. Better luck this week on the game date of shows 9/28 that they have listed, and I'll check to see if that's correct. They have that listed as a Saturday game, which I'll take a look to see if that's correct. I didn't know there were any Saturday games, but more on that later. So best of luck to everyone looking into that. Very strange week in football if you're a football fan. This is not a football podcast, so I'm not going to get too much into it, but interesting times for sure. Well, what do we have on the plate today? I went over, obviously, my complaints about football, as well as our new YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone who can visit, like, and subscribe, help me get that platform off the ground and running. You'll also see a quick clip of my family's visit to Fenway Park, courtesy of the Corona Sweepstakes that happened this summer. But on to a new top 5, only in my particular order. And as always, if you feel I missed one or you don't agree with me, you could always get in touch with me. How's that, you say? sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. Once again, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. So for this week's top 5 list, starting off at number 5, Mountain Dew and Thrillist Do the Do Sweepstakes. The Mountain Dew Thrillist Do the Do Sweepstakes will award one grand prize winner $5,000 and a Mountain Dew Great Outdoors and Dew Box consisting of the following items: a hammock, fanny pack, Sunny Life waterproof film camera, Eddie Bauer duffel bag, a can of Mountain Dew Green, and a can of Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Nice big prize, 249 first prizes will get a Mountain Dew box. Retail value, they are pegging somewhere between $118.67 and $125.49. That is a very specific retail value for that prize. So good luck to everybody entering that one. Our folks and friends in the 50 United States and DC, ages 18 or older, 19 in, let's say, I'm going to say this is Nebraska and Alabama. I hope I didn't mess that up. State abbreviation, November Echo and Alpha Lima. Start date, the 20th of this month, September 20th through October 31st, 2024. Nice short entry period, and best of all, one time, one and done, single entry to that sweepstakes. Good chance to win $5,000. Number 5 on our list. Number 4 on our list, the AirMed Care Network Revive and Thrive 25K giveaway. Very simple. One grand prize winner is walking away with cash in the form of a check of $25,000. Eligible for the residents in, it shows the 50 United States, but void in Alaska, Florida, New York, Rhode Island, and Wyoming. Our folks in DC are also eligible, ages 18 and older, and have reached the age of majority. Quick pause on this one. Obviously, sometimes you see our friends in Alaska and Hawaii are excluded. Always curious to why sometimes I see New York and Rhode Island together, as well as Wyoming thrown in there. I'm not sure why, but if anyone has any thoughts or ideas, if there's any specific laws with giving away a certain amount, like $25,000, I would love to know just for my own information. This one starts on the 19th of this month. It will end on the 31st of October. This is a daily, so you're going to have to put in a little bit of work. But one grand prize winner getting 25 grand. That's a great prize right there. That is number 4 on our list. Number 3, and one that for whatever reason I usually don't do because I've mentioned before, I'm not really big on taking trips, but I don't know what it was this weekend. I went down the rabbit hole of looking up cruise videos on YouTube and cruise bloggers and people having cruise experiences and vacations to nice places. And I mentioned it to my wife, she's not a sweeper, but she certainly supports me in this hobby and this journey. And I mentioned it to her, and she's like, yeah, that would be a fantastic trip to win. And, she's always wanted to take a cruise for a long time. We're both not big on airplanes, but this one in number 3, I read the official rules. I read the prize description, and I had to jump in. Beaches Resorts, Countdown to Christmas in the Caribbean sweepstakes. Also curious, feel free to email me. Do you pronounce it Caribbean or Caribbean? I think I said Caribbean. Yeah, so I'm on the Caribbean boat. Win an all-inclusive, and this is what made me look up the rules, win an all-inclusive 3-night trip for 4 to Turks and Caicos. Trip includes all-inclusive resort stay and airfare. A $15,000 prize value, single entry, open to all of our friends across the 50 United States, DC, and Canada. Shout out my new friend, Carolyn Willman, the contest queen. Ages 18 and older. Start date is September 16th of this month. It ends on November 1st. A single entry, a one and done. This is as I mentioned, a 4-day, 3-night all-inclusive vacation package for 2 adults and 2 children, ages 15 and under for the children, in a lead-in butler category room at beaches, Turks and Caicos, resort villages, and spa. Round-trip economy airfare for up to 4 individuals, capped at $500 per traveler for travel during December 12th through the 15th, 2024. As I mentioned, retail value $15,000. I usually don't do trips, but this one, I mean, I don't know much about Turks and Caicos. It sounded like a fabulous time. I clicked on the official rules, and the sweepstakes got me curious, so I went to their website and I was, clicking on the packages and everything. And obviously, for a $15,000 retail value, I figured the vacation would be like a 7-day trip. But when you read the rules and what they have here, it is an amazingly big prize. And it looks like, as I was reading through the rules, it states if the grand prize winner is not available to travel during the redemption period, which was obviously this year I mentioned the 12th through the 15th of this year. That's what they consider the redemption period. If the grand prize winner is not available to travel during the redemption period, the grand prize winner will have 1 year from November 12th, 2024 through November 11th, 2025, and then they have in parentheses the quote-unquote alternate redemption period to travel to any beaches resorts, grand prize winner's choice, subject to availability and blackout dates. So don't be discouraged if you look at these dates and you see the dates on the rules and say, there's no way I could travel December 12th through the 15th. Enter that sweepstakes, read the rules, as we always say, and, choose something in the alternate redemption period. And again, if Turks and Caicos isn't your jam, they say you could pick any other one. So go right ahead. My opinion, this one lands at number 3, single entry, open to everybody. Big prize. If you read more into the rules, it's the lead-in butler, unlimited meals, unlimited drinks. My wife and I don't drink alcohol, but I mean, there is nothing that is not included in this trip. Hence, 3-night trip for 4 costing $15,000. If I were to win it, I only got 1 kid, so I would ask them to kick off the applicable amount, which would be $37.50, and hopefully get taxed on something like that. But just for what it is, the ease of entry, it includes our friends in Canada, so good luck to everybody there. And a fairly short entry window, and beaches, from what I hear, it's I believe it's tied in the same company that has Sandals. Sandals is like the kind of adults only place. Beaches is for families. So this looks like a great giveaway. Good luck to everybody who enters in that one. That's number 3 on our top 5 list. Coming in at number 2, not really a company that I've heard about before, and I don't want to butcher this, so I'll say it the way I'm reading it. The Young Quan Jang 2024 Ginseng Gives Back Giveaway. The company's listed as Korea Ginseng Corporation. They're going to award one grand prize winner a 2024 Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive vehicle. That's a fantastic prize. Why did it beat out the previous ones I just mentioned? Well, they also have 3 first prizes of a massage chair. The retail value could be different ones because they're listing the retail value between $3,299 and $6,599. So those must be some real deal legit massage chairs. 10 second prizes, a ginseng prize, and whatever this ginseng prize is, it must be a lot of it because they got a retail value of $320.99 all the way up to $563.88. Again, very specific retail values. And then 150 third prizes, a $50 Amazon gift card So it's a one and done. It's single entry. It's for all of our friends in the 50 United States, including DC, ages 21 or older. This one actually started back August 1st, but I didn't see it until recently, and the deadline for this is a ways out. The deadline ends in January 31st of next year. So maybe you enter this one as a one and done, you forget about it, and sometime in February you get a phone call or email saying, hey, congratulations, remember you entered this? Well, you got a Tesla coming your way. So retail value of that Tesla, $38,990. Rear wheel drive. I live in New England, but thankfully for me, my last two vehicles, a sedan and my current pickup truck, have been rear wheel drive, so I would not mind that. Plus, if it's really that bad outside, no one's saying you have to leave the house. So that makes it for number 2 on our top 5 list. What is the last one? I'll save the drum roll for another time. But the one that I have here at number 1 is not necessarily the biggest dollar value. It doesn't always have to be. But again, it goes into the type of prize, the frequency, the ease of entry, etc. And this would be the Samsung Fall e-certificate sweepstakes. And I usually enter these. I believe Samsung does it quarterly or seasonally. But they advertise this as, hey, win a $5,000 Samsung gift card, plus they have another winner will get a $1,000 Samsung gift card. Then 5 winners will get a $500 Samsung gift card. And then they list 10 winners will get a $500 Samsung gift card. So that might be, that looks like that was miswritten. I'm getting this off of Sweepstakes Fanatics. Check that. 10 third prize winners will not get $500. They will get a $100 Samsung e-certificate redeemable at Samsung.com. So grand prize winner, $5,000 Samsung gift card. First prize winner, $1,000 Samsung gift card. 5 second prize winners, $500 Samsung e-certificate. And 10 third prize winners, a $100 Samsung e-certificate. All of those redeemable at Samsung.com. So that is our top 5 list for this week. If you have any other thoughts, hey, Jay Victor, you missed one. This such and such in sweepstakes is great. They're giving away $1 billion and it's only for people that live in your town. Yeah, right. Feel free to email me, sweepstakespodcast@gmail.com. Regardless of the platform, as I mentioned, our new YouTube platform, if you could find it in your heart, please, oh please, to follow or subscribe or like or just, pump me up so I could keep this podcast going. There's no money in it. I do it for the love of the game. And to be honest, what is the whole point of this podcast? It's just a conversation. If you're maybe like me, you may not have buddies or friends or a sweepstakes club near you that you can share this hobby with. Thankfully for me, as I mentioned, my wife is supportive of this hobby. And my son even has a fleeting interest. He'll, ask me about the boxes and prizes that come in. But in a lot of cases, it's very rare that, let's say you go to work and there's going to be 3 or 4 or 5 people that also do sweepstakes. That's just not the case. I mean, having this hobby is going to be, not something where you're going to hear a lot of people talk about it. So I make it so we can have a conversation, or you can at least listen to me for between 20 minutes and a half hour on, maybe some sweepstakes that you were not aware were out there. But if nothing else, it's a friendly conversation. I hope you enjoy listening to me talk about sweepstakes as much as I enjoy doing these podcasts and coming up with ideas and lists and things of that nature. And we will definitely see. We have obviously another month coming to an end very soon. Today's the 23rd. We only got about a week left before the month's over, and we'll start it all over again. As far as my dailies go, the ones that expire this month, or at the end of this month, I should say, I have about 20 of them. And then it seems like the daily sweepstakes are getting a little thin going into the end of the year. But we'll see how all of that works out, and we'll take a look to see what's to come. Maybe there'll be a bit of a blitz as far as the amount of sweepstakes and companies that put out contests. We'll see what happens. But who knows? So I'm going to more than likely get back to watching these Monday night football games. As it stands right now, the third quarter, Buffalo is absolutely destroying Jacksonville 34-3. Washington is up on Cincinnati 21-10 coming to the end of the second quarter. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my Monday night, but I really appreciate you checking in once again and listening to Official Rules, a sweepstakes podcast. I am your host, Jay Victor. Thank you for listening in. We'll talk to you next time. See ya.
This has been a Father and Son production.